Welcome to the FBAA's Top Broker Podcast for mortgage brokers looking to take their business to the next level with your host, Joshua Vecchio.
This week we have Jeremy Fisher, Managing Director at First Street Financial, based in New South Wales and is Australia's most awarded broker, consistently writing over $300 million year in, year out. With his company's loan book in excess of $4.5 billion, he would be Australia's most successful broker. In this episode, we look at how to become a billion-dollar broker and discuss strategic ways to win. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel confident in crushing it after possessing the keys to success. So let's jump in. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Jeremy, your philosophy is if you're not getting 2 referrals for every 1 client you're assisting, you're doing something wrong. Your clients refer to you incessantly. How do you achieve this?
Look, I don't think there's any secrets behind it. Obviously, you're not necessarily doing something wrong if you're not getting referrals, but the question is what you could be doing better or differently to get business. I've always believed that obviously your existing clients are going to be your best referral network. So everyone does things differently. I don't ask my clients for business. Others do, and that's completely fine. I rely on the fact that if I provide a great service to my clients, that they're going to be referring their friends and family. And that's how the business has grown over the years, is that I don't look for the next deal. I focus very much on the existing client and the deal at hand. And I actually also focus extremely hard on my existing clients that I've already worked with. So that to me is the prime of my business. Look after them exceptionally well. I don't sell based on rate. So anytime that I get a referral from an existing client, it's always go and see Jeremy. He provided a great service and he was very knowledgeable. So that's what I have always invested my time in, is to ensure that obviously provide a great service to the clients, be responsive, be available, be knowledgeable, and then they will be referring. It's pretty simple.
So you don't coach your clients to refer. Do you prompt them? Do you ask for the referral?
I have never once asked for a referral. I think that I'm probably the worst salesperson out there. So it's just not in my DNA. I have many friends, broker friends, that do ask. It could be the bottom of their email on every settlement of a deal. And that's a good thing to do if you as a broker are that way inclined. For me, I'm not that way inclined. So I also don't want to go. I want to keep within my comfort zone, and my comfort zone is provide a great service, do everything you possibly can to make it as simple as it can be for your client. That will lead to referrals, and that's proven to be the case for me.
So what does great service look like?
To me, great service is simple stuff. So it's getting back to the client on the same day, whether it's a phone call, whether it's an email. It is keeping up to date with everything that's going on throughout the whole process. You've got to remember that the majority of clients, it's a big black hole once they say, look, let's get a loan approved. I want to make sure that at no point are they chasing me and saying what's going on. I want to be on the front foot permanently with my clients and making sure that they're aware of everything that's going on at each stage. If they call me for something, I'll get back to them. If I have good or bad news, I'll get back to them today. So I'll never delay anything with any client. I want to make sure that they are not waiting to hear from me at any point in time. So there won't be a given day that I won't respond to a call or an email before I finish up for the day. If that means working till midnight, that's completely acceptable in my philosophy, because it's just putting the client first, and that's how I operate.
So you've said that you don't sell on rate, and a lot of brokers out there are going to think that that's just crazy. How do you do that? What are the things that you sell on?
So I sell on knowledge. Firstly, you want to be that person that knows more than the client. You know more than what the client knows. And remember, these days, clients can be quite savvy in terms of getting online and looking up and seeing what's out there and et cetera, et cetera. But it's knowing, it's being confident in your, in your conversation with the clients around, which lender, why, how it suits them. Obviously, we get to the rate that comes at some point in the conversation, but it's being someone that they can come to for anything. And that could include, and more than just the home loan. I've always had a philosophy that if a client comes to for something, I don't want to be able to, I don't want to ever say no, or I can't help you. So it may be that it may not fit within, what I do, but I'm going to have someone that's going to be able to look after them. So I want to be that person that clients will come to all the time for anything and everything. And that is pretty much how it seems to occur with my clients, is that by the end of organising the home loan, they are asking me that are completely unrelated to the home loan, but it's just giving them the confidence that I'm that yes person that can help them or point them in the right direction if I can't do it myself.
You're an expert problem solver, and that's why people come to you. Is that also why people refer to you? Because whatever it comes through, whether it's property or even financial planning and finance, you've always got a solution for them.
Yeah, look, I said I always want to have a solution, and I accept the fact that I can't do everything, and I don't know everything, but I want to have somewhere to send them if I can't. As I said, my clients are referred to me because of the service proposition, because of how simple we make it seem. So no matter how complicated an application is or someone's situation is, I try my absolute best to make the client not feel like it's a complicated process. So I'm not sure how others do it, but I will do everything possible to take stress from my client so that irrespective of how much stress I'm going through, they're not going to know about it. I've got my own processes internally so that I can obviously get things done without involving the client as much as possible, so that as far as they're concerned, it's been a very simple process. And that's something that I've always done from day one, is I don't want the client to feel the same stress that I may feel. And I guess it's worked.
So how do you make a complicated loan process seem simple? Talk me through that process.
Well, obviously, it's just time in the game. So it's knowing when to walk away from a deal, which I don't have to do often, but that's the first thing that I learned very early on is sometimes you have to walk away from something before you start. So it's really early on in any interaction with the client, getting to the bottom whether there's a deal there or not. Then it's obviously having a relationship with key lenders, and no one's going to have a relationship with 40 plus lenders. So we're all accredited with that many. I've probably got half a dozen key lenders, all reputable banks, and that obviously, within that network, knowing where to put deals, having a relationship with the head of credit at those select lenders, certainly make life easier to be able to go and workshop deals, do all the hard work up front. So that way, when you are at the time of application, it's a seamless process. Having support people within the bank. So obviously we've got the BDMs, which is a key business partner to us, but also that BDM needs to have a support person within their office who can also help. They almost become, that person in the office almost becomes a secondary, assistant to us at First Street. And that also, again, makes our life easier, having someone within the bank that's there and available, as well as obviously then it makes the outcome for the clients, a better process and a simpler process. With
those key partners, how do you treat them in the banks? Do you treat them like a referral partner? Do you take them out to lunch? Do you look after them in that aspect?
There's none of that. And I've never been involved in all the, overseas trips and the horse race days. So it's never been something that I've gotten myself involved in. For me, it's just, I always provide them respect and good business. I treat them like I would treat anyone else working with me in my office or externally. I don't disrespect them. And I think over time you just build up a relationship with them, and it's a very much of a business relationship that is, key and critical to me being successful. So I very rarely will roll the dice on lenders that I haven't worked with before. Again, because that, depending upon the outcome of that, is how I'm looked at by my clients. So it's imperative that the lenders that I choose to partner up with, they are partners to my business. I work very closely with them. But it is all business, but it's just there's a mutual respect. I think they obviously respect the applications that I submit, and I obviously respect the way that they look after me in a timely manner and a professional manner.
Final question: what advice would you give brokers looking to double or even triple their volumes in settlement?
Look, I mean, I've always been a believer in just working hard, work your butt off. Now, what does that mean? It means obviously service the hell out of your existing clients, and then you've got referral partners. Referral partners to me, I've never been one to rely on just 1 or 2 referral partners because I believe they just fill up, a little bit of gap in your business. So I've probably got a dozen or more, maybe 2 dozen referral partners where I keep in touch with regularly, but they kind of refer a little bit of business. Again, so my time is spent throughout the day on a given day working. A normal day to me, for example, would be following up, either working on initiatives with my back book to keep in touch with my existing clients, servicing clients where there's work in progress, and then keeping in touch with referral partners and other networking opportunities. And after hours for me is normally getting my head down into application side of things, compliance, and getting loans processed. So on a given day, I mean, my hours are long, and I'm trying to do less and less over time. And I've got some serious support here and quality brokers in the office where I can rely on to help with some of the workload. And I've been taking that opportunity of late to try to cut back on the hours. But to me, a typical day was, 7 a.m. in the office till midnight at night. And that was just a norm. And as I said, I just kind of broke up my day accordingly. And it didn't matter how busy I was. I've always believed that when you're busy is the time you should be out there prospecting for new business, not when you're quiet. And so obviously if you're constantly busy, you've got to be constantly prospecting for new clients to keep you that way. Obviously when you're quiet, you start prospecting. When you're quiet and you realize, shit, I better start going and trying to get some new business. It's going to be a few months lag until that business starts to come in the door. So again, I just make sure that every single existing client, we're front of mind on a monthly basis. So we're touch points throughout the year with our existing client base. We're always keeping up to date with changes in the industry, trying again to be their person that they will come to. So any changes that occur, we're putting that out to our clients. We're not just sending out stock standard RBA bulletins and typical boring newsletter articles. We are keeping up to date with what's going on in the industry and what's changing. And I do that with both clients and referral partners on a regular basis. So we're very much on our front foot with any changes. And then just keeping us to our client as that person that they want to come to, if they need to ask anything. So again, it's time. You've got to spend the time in your business. It's not just about writing loans. And again, no secret, it's long hours.
Jeremy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
My big 3 takeaways from this episode was 1, don't sell on rate, sell on service. 2, make the home loan process easy and simple for your clients because this is what they'll remember. And 3, work like hell because it's the only way you'll get ahead. So these were my big 3 takeaways. What about you? That's all the time we have for this week, and I'll catch you next week.